Hey folks, it's Imran here from Alias 23. I just want to say thank you very much to everyone who ordered and pre-ordered the Alias 23 air intake for the Exige V6. For those that were on the pre-order, good news, your kits should be out. They're definitely out for delivery. In terms of the next few days, you should have delivery, and what I thought we'd do is just kind of share what you're going to get in the box and just do a quick run through of all the different bits in the box and hopefully give you an idea of how to kind of put it together. There's also a few little tips in terms of the installation that I wanted to go through. So yeah, let's have a look what's in the box. So the box, what you'll find is pretty light. There's nothing really too heavy in it. Let's have a look. So first of all, you have your main intake pipe. So this is what has been an absolute nightmare to get perfectly right, both in terms of the AFRs, but also in terms of kind of performance. So you will see some throttle response improvement with this new intake. What you'll see here is the specially designed math that we've created, and we CNC'd machined that ourselves. We got that welded, and then what we did is we kind of also improved in terms of the fitting, made it a little bit simpler by just adding a little boss. And as you see, kind of made sure that it had a nice little finish on the end for the silicone joiners. Now, in terms of the silicone joiners, we all like a little bit of rubber, and we made sure that we got a proper kind of silicone joiner put into the kit. What you'll see here is it's not black internal, and the reason being is we added an extra protective coating. So again, it just adds a little bit of durability, and also it's a better product basically. It's a bit more high spec. It does the job even better. So that's that bit. Okay, let's see what else we got. The main filter. This took us 20 days to get these commissioned. So for those that have been following the build of this, these have been commissioned for us. They're quite special in order to ensure the right diameter piping, but also the amount of kind of airflow needed to kind of align to the kind of power performance that the V6 actually kind of delivers. So as most of you know, the Exige V6 is kind of about 350, maybe 350, 360 brake horsepower. What we've actually done is ensured that this filter element is rated to about 460, 470 brake horsepower. So more than enough kind of size of it in order to kind of deal with some of the flow that some people may be kind of using it for. With that said, some people have kind of asked, do we need to oil it? No, you do not need to oil it. What I did is I ensured that when we purchased these, when we commissioned these, before they were sent out by ITG, each and every one of them was oiled. So you don't need to oil them. Obviously, over time, you're gonna have to maintain them, but in terms of kind of initial fitment, don't worry about oiling them. Don't buy more oil spray. They're already oiled for you. Just a little bit of kind of hygiene. So what you see here is obviously it's kind of the alley in terms of the design at the bottom, and then you've got this kind of foam material here as well. When you're attaching it to your silicone joiner, do your best, and you're just gonna have to take your time, but do your best to not touch this. Do your best to not kind of be forcing this silicone joiner on by going like this. If you start going like this, you're going to break the internal cage of it by applying too much pressure. So the way to do it is just gently kind of prise it around on here like that, and then if you can on a flat surface, obviously not a carbon wing, but just to show you, try and push it down on these bits here, and just do it gradually, and eventually it will go down nice and tight on there, and then you can apply your Jubilee kits. So let's have a look what else is in here. So pipe, big box, and then a bag of lots of different bits. So these are the Jubilee clips we provide. Micolor, we wanted to get some decent ones, not some crappy cheap things. So you got decent Micolor kind of Jubilee clips there for your silicone hose to go onto the ITG filter, but then also onto the main intake pipe. You then have this little, in a separate little box, you then have this P-clip. So you got your P-clip there. That's what you're going to use to attach the main intake pipe to the actual kind of chassis bar of the Exige V6 that you'll see in the instructions. And you've also got a nice little stainless steel kind of MX bolt in order to fix that up nice and tight. Now, in addition to that, you have a few other little bits and bobs. So I don't know about you, but when you're taking that wheel arch off, you're going to kind of smash a load of these. They're just a nightmare. They always break. They do my head in, so I thought I'd kind of throw in about 6 of these. You'll probably need about 6 of them for the wheel arch when you refit everything. So you've got those just as a backup. You'll also have these. So you'll have these M4 bolts. There are 2 types of M4 bolt. One is 10mm and one is 8mm. It's the 8mm one that actually goes into the MAF. So that's the small one. That's the one for when you're fitting your MAF sensor to the MAF flange. The other one, the 10mm one, that's for if you've got an original V6. If you've got a 350, you don't need to worry about it. But if you have got an original V6, what you need is those 10mm and the washer to block off the solenoid pipes. So on those solenoid pipes, let's have a look at it, because that's where the instructions are going to be a bit confusing for people. So on the 350, it's actually quite simple, and the reason being is the exhaust and the airbox vacuum solenoid is all one. But on the original V6 like mine, you've got a different vacuum solenoid for the exhaust and one for the airbox. So it's the airbox one that we're kind of looking at, and the one that we're probably focused on for the install. So if I just pop the bonnet thing, a little light, getting a bit dark, and let's have a look at it. So what you'll see in the instructions, and we talked about it in the instructions, is this red pipe here. This is the one that goes to your exhaust, and this needs to go straight into your supercharger. So when you've removed that from your airbox, put it straight into your supercharger, and that exhaust one, that's all done with. But it's this vacuum solenoid here which you need to detach from your airbox, and then what you'll have is 2 pipes coming out of it, 2 pipes coming out of that vacuum solenoid, and they're the pipes that you need to block with your M4 10mm bolts and washers. Now in terms of fitting, where you kind of want this to be fitted, I've put it here, but what you'll find in the instructions is we've put it a little bit further up here where the charcoal canister is. Either one is kind of, it's up to you which one you want to go for. What you'll find though is you'll probably have to drill that hole out a little bit just so that it can accept an M6 bolt, but other than that you should be pretty much all good to go. So that is me. Thank you again for purchasing, thank you again for supporting. I know it has some challenges with the alley pipe. It just shows how special the dimensions are that we had to get to in the end really were. But we got there, and I'm happy to say the first batch pretty much sold out. I think we've got maybe 2 or 3 spare intakes available for sale. They're on alias23.com if anyone wants to look to get them, grab them quickly, because as you'll know, it takes 20 days for us to commission the ITG filters, and really we're looking at kind of about 3 to 4 weeks for our next batch. I gotta be honest, I'm absolutely zonked. What with the air intakes and the mirrors, as well as other business, you know, I'm pretty zonked. So we're gonna chill out a little bit for product development for a little while. But what we'll look to do once we've sold out of these air intakes, as I said, there's only 3 more left. We'll probably give it another week or 2, and then we may look toward launch another pre-order for a second batch. If we do, and you missed out on the first batch, hopefully you'll get in on the second batch. But till then, thank you again. Enjoy the kit, and yeah, just enjoy it. Bye. One last thing, and if it's not clear in the instructions, even though I've written it down in big capitals with lots of exclamation marks, just ensure when you install the kit, make sure you allow the car to idle for at least 10 minutes. No installing it, revving the nuts off it, taking it down your favorite country road and thrashing the nuts off it. If you start doing that, your ECU has not had a chance to learn the new characteristics of the airflow, and you're gonna get an error light. And I'm you know, guys, just be patient, yeah? Make sure after you've installed it, you've put in the time, you put in the effort, give it at least 10 minutes on idle, untouched, so that the ECU has an opportunity to learn. After that, I still recommend, again, don't go thrashing the nuts off it. You know, I know you're excited to kind of listen to it, see the improvement, etc., but just chill. Go and ensure that you run it in, bed it in for at least about 20 to 30 miles, gradually increasing the revs over that period of time. That way you've got the best opportunity that your ECU will properly relearn the new airflow characteristics, and you will not have an issue with the ECU if you do that. So please just be patient, make sure you do the idle, make sure you bed it in, and all should be good. Thank you.